Good morning, gentlemen. I'm going to talk to you on a very interesting topic today. I'm going to talk to you about India. It's a wonderful weather. I think nice to talk about India. Now, some strange things have happened. And I got wind of it from one of the correspondents whom I met in the bar yesterday. He told me there was a concerted attempt by certain powers to try and bring down the Modi government. It does look a little silly that such a thing could be thought of even, because Modi's got an absolute majority in parliament, but then there's no harm in a try. And historically we also know that these forces which are outside are aided by people who are inside the country. We'll try to identify them soon, but bring your mind to the 1971 crisis in Pakistan. What happened that time? There was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and he wanted to be the dictator, or you call it the Prime Minister, President of Pakistan, and he created a situation wherein the majority leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was put in jail instead of being made the Prime Minister, and the net result was he broke the country into two to satisfy his own megalomaniac streak. That is the first thing. Look at the history of India also. We got plenty of traitors all around. In the famous battle with Lord Clive at Plassey, Siraj-ud-Dawla should have won the battle hands down. But his famous general, his best general, went on the side of Robert Clive, that is Mir Jafar, teamed up with him, and next is Siraj was defeated. That's part of it. 1,000 years back, when Muhammad Ghori came to India, went into battle with Prithviraj Chauhan, his own colleague and friend Jai Chand betrayed him, and he lost the battle. So the people, whether it's India or Pakistan, which is the subcontinent, it is inside who create this problem and help the others. Now, I think there has been a method to the madness lately. It started off with the Hindenburg papers, coming out with a report against Mr. Adani. Now, it's not something which was simple. Why did they pick up Adani? They picked him up, first of all, because he's the number 2 man in the hierarchy in the world. This is something the Western powers, the Anglo-Saxons, couldn't tolerate. Arey Baba, how can he be number 2 in the world? So the Hindenburg came in, and he's been reduced from 2 to 26. They've had it in effect. And then we have George Soros coming in, another billionaire of America, and he's castigating Modi, saying that Modi is going to suffer because he's close to Adani. Now, when you add 2 and 2, it doesn't add up. It shows that there was a concerted attempt to try and defame Modi, bring him down. And there are people in India who are very keen for this to happen. I would just like to point out to you that in 2014, Mani Shankar Iyer, I think the moment the Congress had lost, he went to Karachi, I don't know, there was a meeting or something, and there he told the Pakistanis, please help us to defeat Modi. Now this man, under any circumstances, should have been put before a military court and tried, but then such things don't happen in India, and he got away with it. And he's still prancing around saying here and there things like that. He talked of the fact that there is no democracy. This is no democracy. Rajiv is the natural successor. He says, when Shah Jahan became king, was there any discussion? He's talking medieval times, trying to apply it to the Indian context, the modern context. And Rahul Gandhi now, who's sporting a beard like Karl Marx, who, as we all know, is a defeated philosopher. His philosophy is defunct. The philosophy is so obnoxious that it broke Russia into 22 parts. That is what communism did. The Tsarist empire was destroyed by communism. And he is not, and Rahul Gandhi is trying to emulate him. He looks like him rather. He probably doesn't know it. And then, he seems to have a one-point agenda that he doesn't want to come back to power. So he keeps on talking all sorts of things which are not palatable to the Indian people. And there is a possibility, a distinct one, that he would be very happy that if Narendra Modi can be removed as the Prime Minister of India. That is his aim. He may become Prime Minister or no, but he wants that Modi should not be there. Why he should not be there? He's got some weird reasons. He talks of Hindutva. I don't think he knows what is Hindutva. Hindutva has nothing to do with the Hindu religion per se. It's a way of life in India, and all Indians who stay here follow Hindutva. It is like the continent of Circe, that famous book written by Niraj Chaudhary. Anybody who comes to India, he amalgamates into the people and he becomes one amongst them. And that happened to the Muslims also. They became part of India. But there are people in India who would like that they should maintain a vote bank. Hence, they always talk, and Rahul Gandhi talks that common civil code not required, polygamy should continue, Article 370 should be restored, India should talk to Pakistan, China should not be antagonized. You think of anything, he will talk everything against the BJP government. He's got nothing good to see there. He doesn't see the stability brought in by the Modi government. Doesn't see the progress which has been done. He's talking only things that Bharat Jodo. What is Bharat Jodo? India is already one country, and his own father, rather his grandfather, divided the country on linguistic states. Historically, India was never divided linguistically. Anybody correct me on that? Linguistic states were the creation of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in the Reorganization Act, and the net result is India started having fisibus tendencies. And then there is no leader but the name in his party who keep on just talking that he is the great man, whether you take of Kharge, you think of Digvijay Singh, you think of Kamal Nath, you think of Gehlot, all these fellows. On their own, they won't probably win an election without the name of Gandhi. And Gandhi is holding all these trumps in his hands, and he continues. But then, that is okay, he may control the party, but he can control India. So he's trying all sorts of stunts, here and there to see that Modi can be discredited, he can be thrown out. And this attempt by George Soros and the Hindenburg, part of that attempt to try and dethrone Modi. It's not so easy, but this was part of the conspiracy. But sometimes conspiracies can succeed, but luckily this one didn't. We must remember that certain powers did try and were successful in Pakistan when they got rid of Imran Khan. But Pakistan is a different kettle of fish. It's a much smaller country than India. India is a country of 1.4 billion people, and it's not easy to do to emulate what happened in Pakistan. When there was a midnight vote and Imran Khan was sent home. First Prime Minister in Pakistan to lose a vote of no confidence. That's history. But gentlemen, what I'm coming to point is that in India we have a lot of fisibus tendencies, a lot of fifth columnists sitting here whose only job is to criticize the government, and even there is a sizable number of correspondents and political commentators who follow this agenda. I don't know if these people are honest, because if they are not, that's my way of thinking. Because I would criticize Modi if he was doing something wrong, but I won't criticize him just for the sake of criticizing. I keep on saying Article 370 should be restored. Why should it be restored? He did a grand, damn good thing. And not only that, he solved the Kashmir problem by breaking the state into two union territories, Kashmir and Ladakh, and Ladakhis are so happy that now they will be able to develop, which they were not developing earlier. Gentlemen, we are now reaching a stage in India where we are on the threshold of becoming a great power. It will take time, maybe another 10 years, but you can't stop it. And the Americans, in any case, have cooked their own goose. They ran away from Afghanistan. That's the most recent. I won't talk of the earlier retreats, which they had so many of them. But I think in Ukraine again, Biden has bitten on more than can chew. He doesn't know what he's talking of. He's forgetting that America got a jet of 32 trillion, and in case the entire debt is encashed, America will become like Pakistan. It's easy to talk, go there, show solidarity with the Ukrainians and all that, but it doesn't lead to anything. No change in the ground situation. And in any case, this is the century of the East. But if the East is going to have people like the Congress Party, then it's going to be mighty difficult for the country to come up. Because these people will keep on agitating, keep on raising issues which are non-issues. Look at Uddhav Thackeray. He's been defeated. The election commissioner said that he doesn't hold the symbol. He was a man who let his father's philosophy down. And yet he's talking of, with a sad-looking face, that I've been dethroned, I can be given power back. Election commission will be disbanded. I mean, this is the most weird statement I've ever heard. And you disband the election commission just because Mr. Thackeray doesn't like it. I think he was presiding over corruption. That was the thing. And to say that he didn't know about it is a lot of BS. Now coming down to the other leaders, I'm just discussing India. Look at Mamata Banerjee. I mean, I think it's very sad that she is leading the state of Bengal. And she follows more politics, manipulations. How's that? The Bengalis constitute 30% vote bank of minorities. So she's banking on that 30% vote bank coming en masse to her, and it does come. Because even when Owaisi contested the elections in Bengal, his candidates could win. The Muslims didn't vote for him, though he was the Muslim leader. And they all voted for Mamata Banerjee. All Mamata had to do to get another 20 to 22% vote of the Hindus, and she went home, and that's her policy. Bengal develops as knowing no point. She threw out Ratan Tata's wonderful factory which he had set up for the Bengalis, you know, when they were manufacturing Tata cars there. And now she's come back and all that, but nothing has happened. And she's still living in the past world. I mean, she's just thinking I should be chief minister, that's all. Development has got no relevance. Development takes place in Bengal, doesn't take koi baat nahi. Look at Nitish Kumar, another person. I want to be Prime Minister of India. Congress should listen to me. Why should they listen to you? You are a non-entity yourself. And I will remind Mr. Nitish Kumar that when he stood for election on his own, 39 seats he won 1 or 2 out of 39. Let him stand election again and show his mettle. Sharad Pawar is another chap, good man, but then he's got a tainted past in my view. And he's been thought to be the wheeler-dealer of the Chanakya of Maharashtra. If he was such a big Chanakya, he would have won an election at least once in his 50 years of life on his own street, which he never done. These are the facts, unpalatable one, but they are. Rajiv Gandhi himself lost the election in Uttar Pradesh, his parliamentary seat, and he had to run away to Wayanad in Kerala from where he won. So gentlemen, what I'm coming to is the fact that the opposition is disjointed. This is what I'm coming to. They are looking for issues which are non-existent, and that is not the way to win an election. You want to win an election, you've got to come up with a proper plan and see to it that what happens is for the good of the people. The people must feel it. You may be thinking it's a damn good thing, you know, to bring Article 370 back, but the people in Kashmir don't want it. They're happy to be integrated with India. I remember there was a statement made by Begum Mufti in which he said if Kashmir Article 370 is removed, Khoon ki nadiyan chal jayengi. I haven't seen any Khoon ki nadi for the last 2 to 3 years. This thing has been done. Article 370 has been removed. On the contrary, I have seen that she herself has become non-entity. She doesn't win a single seat here and there. Same thing with Farooq Abdullah and his son Umar Abdullah. Both of them have lived out their utility to the Kashmiri people. I mean, what are they planning? They again joining the Yatra and all of Rahul Gandhi, thinking that they'll be able to fight the BJP that way. Fighting the BJP politically is correct, certainly. You need a strong opposition. But making insinuations, false allegations like some of the correspondents and very revered ones, very respected ones go and make is not acceptable. And now, gentlemen, These are just some rambling thoughts which I had. There was a concerted attempt to unseat Modi, throw mud on him, and it hasn't worked. I think George Soros must be thinking himself. He's had some love for Pakistan all the same, but somehow he hates India. You can't believe a man once he's so bigoted. And there's so many others like him. The Labour Party leader, he was talking about unfinished agenda or partition. Luckily that man has been thrown out. He was the leader of the opposition. I won't name him. He wanted Kashmir to be handed to Pakistan. Now, these are the people, and Americans tried their level best with a number of resolutions during the Security Council to try and support Pakistan, and they were defeated with the Russian veto. Gentlemen, I focused this on India, basically, so that I wanted to express my thoughts. And I will say, I believe in nationalism. Pandit Nehru, when he was in power, he would win all the elections with at least 350 seats. He was loved by the people, though he had a warped sense of history, of strategic importance of the army, and he was at fault there. And Rahul Gandhi must take a lesson from his grandfather and try and see that he's more endearing, more lovable with the Indian people's aspirations. Then he may win maybe a few more seats, otherwise he'll end up 40, 50, 60 and he'll be running around like a hen here and there, you know, and then all looking for some issues to throw more mud on Modi, you know. It's not easy and it doesn't stick. Such mud when you throw it doesn't stick off, it falls off. Gentlemen, I think I'll close now and say bye-bye, God bless. Do subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, like it. I look forward to that. And I look forward to talk to you again. I like to sit in this place, in this particular room where I have the horses at the back. Gives me a sense that I'm riding a horse. I love riding, you know. I've been doing a lot of riding right from the days when I'm in the academy. God bless all of you. Jai Hind. Glory to India and the future. And be happy and good.